Look, I've actually delivered professional development to some of the RTOs that we've partnered. They've actually asked me to come and deliver a whole range of sessions on integrating literacy within their work practice. I think for them to realise that they must look at individual needs and cater to individual needs, and adult learning principles must always apply, and take people from where they are now to where they need to go, and there's no one set way to do that.
I just wanted to add to that also the fact that we have the opportunity within the TAFE system where we can access a vocational teacher from, say, administration studies, who can deliver some bookkeeping, budgeting skills alongside the well trainer supporting the literacy and numeracy skills work. So we've got this team teaching that can be happening, and that's really successful in the workplace. It's also successful in the classroom.
If I was to go back into a classroom, I'd never teach in the way that I taught before. I think I'm a good practitioner, but my awareness has just been heightened so much since participating in the WELL program. And I guess having worked in industry where we're continually customising training for the employees, but also, I think if I was in the classroom, I'd be intent on making it much more work relevant.
I think it's the people we deal with. In a classroom, people come to a class and I'll sit down. In industry, if you aren't delivering or doing a good job, people just leave or they won't return. I find that quite stimulating, and you're dealing with employees, you're dealing with a number of other issues. It could be employer, union, industrial strife, so it's a dynamic situation.
I think there's a lot that teachers, traditional classroom teachers, can learn by moving into industry and teaching within industry and teaching in a different circumstance, teaching people without classrooms and whiteboards and overhead projectors and all of those things. There's a very different skill set required, and the opportunity for them to learn how to work with processes, work with technology, work with new IT or whatever it is particular to the plant.
Actually, being a WELL practitioner out in the workplace is a very, very different experience to being a classroom practitioner, because out in the workplace people are much more empowered than would be my observation of people in a classroom. So I think to be a successful WELL practitioner, you are operating on a very different level. You're operating on much more of an equitable level than you might be we're in the classroom where maybe you might feel I am the lecturer and I am imparting or something. So I would feel that a WELL practitioner might bring a different way of relating to people in a classroom than they might have had they not had that experience out there. Because I think to be a successful WELL practitioner, you've got to be flexible. I would hope everybody would be respectful, but in a workplace you're going to get very direct feedback if you're not operating in a way that meets people's needs. Whereas in a classroom you might not get that feedback quite as quickly. People might, on campus, people might be younger, might feel less empowered.
You're talking about an approach to teaching, I think, a philosophical approach. People in classrooms here are under a lot of pressure to meet outcomes, focus on assessments. But our focus predominantly is on the people themselves first. If the outcomes have to wait, well, they have to wait. If you're not going to get people putting entries into a computer unless they're comfortable using the computer. So we have to address that fear. You've got to build their confidence. You've got to give them that tangible, where they, I can try this. I'm not scared to try this now. But you've got to support people, whether it's classroom or not. And you don't let must achieve this learning outcome 3.612, your focus is on the person.
What our institute is saying to us is we want other lecturers to work the way you guys do. We want them to go out into the workplace. So the whole idea to me of people coming back to the classroom is almost like, you know, it's hard to kind of envision that, because it's happening the other way. People are needing to go out into the workplace. So I wonder if, you know, in some ways would it be more helpful to think about it like that?